Inclusive teaching, supporting all students in the college classroom. How does course climate impact student learning? Microaggressions and belonging.
One of the most important things about having an inclusive course climate for all students is simply their ability to learn. Most of the time, white students who come to a course feel liberated, feel very good about the course and so forth. That's not necessarily the feedback we get from students of color. They often tend to describe the courses as alienating, invalidating, and at the extreme, oppressive and hostile. And we've discovered through our research 3 different reasons for why this is occurring on. One of them is that many students complain that the course content does not reflect their lived experience and reality. The other thing that oftentimes they say is that when their groups are discussed in the literature or the lectures, it is full of falsehoods, stereotypes, and misunderstandings. The second thing that operates to make many students of color feel uncomfortable in a course situation is differences in learning and teaching styles. And the third one really deals with microaggressions. People don't really understand sometimes what microaggressions are, but they are the everyday slights and indignities that students of color experience, not only from fellow students, but from their own instructors and professors. These 3 are really vital for professors, instructors to understand as to what produces a lack of an inclusive, accepting, and validating environment.
Students' intellectual and social development.
From an intellectual development standpoint, we all might have students at different points along that developmental continuum. So some students might be at a place where they see knowledge and learning as a black and white matter, just accumulating facts handed down from on high with only one way of thinking about those issues, one right way. Obviously, I'm the right way and everybody else is wrong. Other students might be at the point where they see knowledge as a matter of opinions, where all opinions are equal or equally valid and they don't need to be defended or justified. And then some other students might have reached points where they understand that there are different viewpoints, but they can also judge them according to the weight of the evidence in favor of each viewpoint. From a social development standpoint, one important consideration is that students are developing their social identities, which involves a process of growing a positive sense of belonging to certain social groups, whether they are marked groups or dominant groups, groups related to race or gender or sexuality or ethnicity or any other socially relevant identity marker. And what that means for different students is different, but some students are experiencing feelings of empowerment. They're finding their own voice. They are learning to challenge the isms that they see in the course content or in current events related to the content that they're studying. Some other students are coming to terms with their own privilege as belonging to dominant groups in society and the feelings that go with that, feelings of guilt, feelings of frustration. And that can create conflict in the classroom, especially if coupled with stances where there is only one right way to think about the content and it's my way. It is important that professors create a climate in the course that allows for all these positions to be present simultaneously with the intentions of moving students along the continuum, but with the understanding that students don't magically overnight progress to the advanced points. What I advise people is to show students how the tools of the discipline can help them embrace the complexity of the content and not settle for simplistic answers.
Students' prior experiences.
Students don't arrive in our classrooms as empty vessels. Therefore, their prior experiences absolutely shape how they engage in the learning environment. My message to faculty members are to really think about how can we create learning environments where those prior experiences don't sort of inhibit learning, but they facilitate learning. How can we leverage that? And so creating an environment where students are able to, again, to feel like they belong in the learning environment allows them to see that I, as the instructor, are making pedagogical decisions about their learning experience based on information that's relevant to them.